Have you heard the phrase or the popular saying, uh, rise fame and go to sleep? Have you heard that famous popular saying in Central America, Latin America in general? Um, in many places you hear that. And of course, it's in a talk, like in a street talk, in a social setting, people say that. And, by what, so what does this mean for an expat community or expat living in Latin America or Southeast Asia? Let's talk about that. Today we're gonna talk about the topic of this, popular saying and how does this apply for a particular country here in Central America, Costa Rica. Well, Costa Rica has been always, for more than 7 decades, uh, all through the 20th century up to now, 21st century, now 2025, has been gaining that fame, that celebrity status, the you know the celebrity status, meaning what I'm trying to say here is that the fame, the beauty, of one of the best countries to live in Latin America, and and don't get me wrong, I mean that's a fact. It's been a fact of life for more than 7 decades since Costa Rica became a democratic government. um, has been no coup d'état, has been no civil war, has been no mass migration anywhere from Costa Rica getting out of the country. So Costa Rica has been, most Costa Rican citizens has been, I would say 99.9% of the Costa Rican citizens, people very proud of their country, which is very good, very positive. They have built, and this is to the credit of the Costa Rican people. There has been a very much, a culture that has been, cultivated, a culture that has been, cultivated and teach in schools, in universities, in high schools, in churches, in all settings of in the social structure of the Costa Rican society. People have been teaching, of course, elder Costa Rican for generations they've been teaching that if you have a feud with your neighbor, you solve those feud. If you have a confrontation with about any topic or anything, you solve it by having a dialogue, conversation, a dialogue. It's a very much a civilian mindset. Civilian mindset meaning that it's not a bullying mindset, like the bully of the school. It's not that mindset. You have a respect of others, the right of others, the rights of others. So the Costa Rican Constitution is one of the most precious treasure that the Costa Rican people have in their hands, in which it's very clear stated, the nature of the Costa Rican way of living. I mean, when we talk about that famous pura vida thing, on the street, that's a way of living. It's a way of life, meaning people are happy. People are, people are not confrontational, which is very good. Which is, now with that in mind, of course, Costa Rica has been building. I mean, for decades. I mean, even advertising, advertising big time, spending a lot of money in social. I mean, in international media, different kind of media, TV networks, radio, magazine, and now social media. Of course, they're spending big, huge amount of money advertising these traditions, the democratic tradition of the Costa Rican society, and which it's it's in their credit. I mean, that's you have to credit this to the Costa Rican society. I mean, being one of the one of the crown jewel of Latin America. I mean, Costa Rica has been an example of all to Latin America for their democracy and of course for the way of living, the respectful and the beauty and the cleanliness. I mean, the culture of having your country clean, the protection of the environment. I mean, in Costa Rica, there's so many laws protecting the environment, protecting nature. That has been, of a sense of pride for Costa Rican people, which is very nice. So guess what? Now, uh, people from all over the world have been taking notice for years, for decades. This is happening. Um, so as a result, there are more than 130,000 expats who live in Costa Rica, mostly Americans, of course. The Americans expat has been, coming to Costa Rica for decades. I mean, not just recently, but for decades. They've been, they've been, second home. It's been a second home, not just for regular expats. We're talking about people with a pension, social security pension, people with middle class. Many middle class, Americans have been coming to Costa Rica, calling Costa Rica second home, and some, and many, I would say, many, there is the first home. Now they call it home, and they have residence cards, and they have citizenship in Costa Rica, and it's been flowing. I mean, it's been, it's the flood hasn't stopped for years, for decades. But there are many, there are changes. There are, things are evolving just like things has been evolving in the rest of Latin America. For instance, if you would talk about cost of living, yes, it's a fact that the cost of living in Costa Rica is half of what you can pay in Houston, in anywhere in the States. It's like an apartment. If you rent an apartment in a nice area of Escazú, Romuser, or nice neighborhood in Costa Rica where the elite lives, elite, the Costa Rican rich and upper middle class lives, of course, that's where many expats are coming to live. Of course, I mean, in those apartments, there are so many new apartments complex in San Jose area, in residential area of San Jose. That is amazing. I mean, just because people are still interested in coming to Costa Rica as an expat, from not just from the U.S., from also Canada, Europe, and others, but mostly Americans and expats that are coming to Costa Rica. So if you pay like $1,000 for a two-bedroom apartment in San Jose, of course that same two-bedroom apartment, in nice, beautiful apartment complex, project where when I say project, I don't mean like the project like we know in the U.S. where it's a project. That's the worst part of town, of course, when you say project, right? If you live in the project. But what I mean by project is apartment complex, new apartment complex, right? That has been built for high income people. In this case, it's high income, residents, which is you can see in many places in San Jose and then surrounding areas, of course. And so, with $1,000, two nice, beautiful bedroom apartment with all the amenities. I mean, laundromats. I mean, just like in the U.S., 7-Eleven. I mean, all these amenities, supermarket inside, green areas, sports area, people who people play tennis, people tennis, a club area for your family. It's a very family oriented, swimming pool. I mean, you name it, all the amenities. Of course, you can run. You can if you like walking, just walking or running, doing any athletic sport that you want to do in these beautiful apartment buildings. Of course, they have it for free. I mean, free, not free, but you pay $1,000 for the kind of amenity with, and of course, minutes away from movie theaters, from nice, beautiful schools, elite schools. We're going to talk about in a minute about the standard of education in Costa Rica, which is a different point that I want topic that I want to make in this video. But talking about so if you pay $1,000, like I said, you still pay like a deposit money, and of course, one more month in advance. You have to be ready with $3,000. They check your credit, of course, your credit, your banking, I mean statements, and everything that needs to be checked from this corporation. Of course, this is not a small time builders. These people are big time builders. Big corporation that Central American corporation that those kind of project, those kind of big residential communities. So you pay, instead of paying $1,000. I mean, in Miami you can do $2,000, $2,500. I mean, for in a place that far away from all these amenities I'm talking about. And same for New York is worse. New York, you pay $3,000 to $4,000 for a two-bedroom apartment in a place like it's not totally insane. I mean, places where you have so many crime activity. I mean, in the neighboring communities, so it's really, of course, you have more access in New York. I mean, 1 hour away from Wall Street. I mean, I don't blame you, but if you want to work in the area of the Village, in downtown in Lower Manhattan, of course you pay $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $5,000, $6,000 for one bedroom apartment. which is totally totally crazy. But of course, people are making some money to worse. I'm not don't blame them. But let's talk about the community, the expats community coming to San Jose, Costa Rica now. And we're talking about, of course, in Costa Rica has been, if you talk to people now, things about, how is the living, I mean, how is the daily life in Costa Rica? Of course, international magazines, I mean, different social media events, YouTubers, I mean, uh, news reports. Of course, they've been talking about, I'm sorry, I'm dealing with the little, little, coughing that I have. I have little, things, an allergy for a few days now, but talking about different information that people get, of course, officially, even from the local embassy, U.S. embassy, reporting what's going on in Costa Rica for the last 20 years. And when you talk to people in San Jose or the surrounding vicinities, of course people talk about what the reality today is and what the reality was 20 years ago or 25 years ago. I know so many people in Costa Rica. I mean, I talk to them too, and I talked to them in Honduras, in Guatemala, in El Salvador. Now I have done several trips to El Salvador, which is trying to figure out what's really going on in Central America. What's the situation now today? Not information from 2 years ago, or report from 4 or 5 years ago. Who knows? But what I'm trying to get into is that things are evolving rapidly. When you talk to people, even Costa Rican people, talk to people in Costa Rica who live there for so many years, for generations in San Jose, they say, in some cases, I'm not saying all cases, I have to be very careful with this. Of course, that safety in San Jose is not what used to be 20 years ago. That's a fact of life. I mean, this is not like I'm trying to like throw in mud, or trying to spread rumors about something. And this is just when you talk to people, Costa Rican people who lived there for so many years, and sometimes some information they try to people try to sugarcoat it, like say, well, yes, it depends on the neighborhood of where you live, right? Of course, it depends on the neighborhood, but how much can cost you to live in places like Escazú, Romusa? I mean, you need to. That's not. You can live with a pension. I mean, with a $2,000, $3,000 pension in Escazú, with all these big mansions. I mean, all these surrounding, beautiful communities. You need more, and of course, there are prices for everyone. Of course, there are other sections of Costa Rica that very much safe, and you can live well, comfortable with $2,500 if you have a pension, or income, or permanent income from your 401k, or whatever income you have. And of course, there are the visas, like you can apply for those visas in which if you show them a permanent income of at least $2,500, $3,000 or more, of course you qualify for those kind of visas. But guys, I mean, there are millions of people who don't make that kind of pension. Some people, what's the average pension from Social Security? Some people, millions of people don't have other pensions. I mean, they don't work in big companies, or they don't have other like a police union, police, departments, retire from, all these government, positions. I mean, not everyone is like that. There are millions of people who just have their, not even big time savings. They have not, many people don't have that kind of big savings. So when we say, like, I mean, when we're trying to imply here that with the $2,500 pension that you comfortably live, I mean, you have to really search in Costa Rica if you want to really, because prices has been increasing. Price has been on the rise in Costa Rica, in San Jose, particularly in San Jose area, or if you go to the Pacific, of course. You go closer to the beach, you need more money, and lots of more money, definitely, to live in the Pacific. Guanacaste, and all, the beach, Tamarindo, all these beautiful beaches area where surfers, some backpackers go, that they just rent anything, four or five guys renting a room, But we're not talking about people just coming by for a season and go, right? We're talking about expats who live in Costa Rica, who want to really make a home in Costa Rica. So things have been changing. I mean, look, if people say, some people, some reports, I'm not going to name names here, but some reports say, well, yes, Costa Rica is still a popular spot for expats. Yes, I agree, but with condition. I mean, I agree that it's an accurate statement to say that. But how come the same people, the same reports that are telling you that San Jose and the surround, these beautiful areas that you can still search for a nice place, uh, but the same people say, oh, by the way, but don't go to downtown San Jose after dark. Be careful. I mean, there's a caution. I mean, you can get, robbed. You can go. I mean, think about that. The same people telling you, well, yes, you can, 15, 20 minutes away from downtown San Jose, you can find a nice place. And of course, half the price where you can pay in the US, in mainland USA. But they say, oh, by the way, if you try to go to downtown Jose, be very careful. You can, get robbed, or there are so many things going on in there. I mean, uh, so many things after dark. So you have to, of course, anywhere, any downtown, you can downtown LA, downtown New York, downtown Miami. Of course, you have to be very, very careful. But particular San Jose is, I mean, there are so many things going on in downtown that you have to be more careful, of course. Now, uh, you compare this to El Salvador now, San Salvador, downtown San Salvador, for instance, and this is a fact of life. I mean, I'm not trying to, compare. I'm not trying to, lower something, but we have to be honest here and saying the things how, the way they are. Uh, in El Salvador, the municipality, the government is promoting the Ministry of Tourism. You can go, they say, go to downtown El Salvador anytime you want, 2 in the morning. It's safe. It's very much, of course, you will never find 100% safety nowhere in the world, nowhere in the planet, not even in Switzerland, not even in Norway. I mean, not even in Greenland, you can find 100% safety anywhere. But I mean, I've been downtown San Salvador at the Centro Histórico, they call it, at midnight, at 2 in the morning, midnight, and you see so many families, so many people, families walking by, plenty of light, plenty of, I mean, after dark, of course, plenty of lighting, plenty of security, plenty of, uh, and when you start talking to people about what San Salvador is, for instance, right? And that's one of the references, I think, guys. Not Don't go by what this video I'm telling you, not just 100% with what I'm telling you. What I'm trying to say is that, or other videos, other YouTubers, or different kind of information, but talk to people on the ground, talk to people on the street, talk to people at the restaurant, talk to people in the neighborhood where you're staying. I mean, that's why it's so important, the scouting. I agree with scouting. Of course, you need to be scouting, but you have to talk to real people on the ground. Yes, you can talk to other experts who never go anywhere. I mean, other experts who live in the provinces somewhere, but never leaves the province. I mean, sometimes just stay there, or sometimes just go to the resort area where there's more safety. Beaches, of course, the municipality of those beaches, they provide more security of this. But talk to regular people. Go to where regular people go. I mean, in different neighborhoods, different day neighborhood, go during the day and try to talk to people, and they will tell you, yes, if you go, I spoke with different people in San Salvador, not just the people at the hotel where I was staying, but I talked to different people in grocery stores, in just in neighborhoods. I talked to different people, and it's amazing that 9 out of 10 people will was telling told me that now we have a different country. They say, talking about El Salvador, not talking about Costa Rica, talking about El Salvador. Right? 9 out of 10 people tell, oh, we have this is a different country. They say, talking about El Salvador, or in San Salvador, and different provinces. I've been to different provinces in Salvador, different small towns, to talk to people, just like a random talk, random chat. And when you have almost 90%, more than 90%, sometimes more than that, when people talk good about their country, there is a good feeling, there's a good vibe, there's a positive outlook of that country, man. And that's what I found in El Salvador. And Honduras too, you find things, but more in El Salvador. I'm not talking about Honduras at this moment. But the idea of that, the Costa Rica has been, very famous. Of course, there's a big reputation. Yes, I agree. There's a good reputation of having, a peaceful country. When civil war was going on all in Central America, when civil war, I mean, Central America was on fire 35 years ago, 35, 40 years ago, was, and the only place peaceful, you can find was Costa Rica though, in those days. Even Panama had big civilian unrest. So the reputation and fame that Costa Rica is, it's been the of course it's been the number one spot for for expats to come and live. It's been there, and I agree in part now. In part because things have been evolving in Costa Rica. I mean, just not just the prices, but security and safety. And you know what the sources are from these reports that Costa Rica is not safe. I mean, 20 years ago was safer than today. 2025 is from government sources, from official sources, from people on the street, people Costa Rican, born and raised Costa Ricans, right? Who said that, oh, by the way, 20 years ago was safe. Oh, be careful, don't go there. I mean, they always telling, of course, that's very nice. It's a beautiful people. Costa Rica people are very beautiful, very kind, very polite, very well educated, which is a plus. I'm not, but right now I'm talking about that. I'm going to talk about a little more about the education system in Costa Rica. But the idea of that, the reputation and fame of being Costa Rica the most peaceful place, the most safe place in the continent has not it's not really the reality today. That's what I'm trying to say. Uruguay, the country of Uruguay, El Salvador is safer nowadays. I mean, safer if you talk to people. Um, and even government official sources about the crime, about petty theft, about murder, about the right of violence in the streets sometimes, violence with gang members. But El Salvador has been wiping out with all kinds of crimes. I mean, it's one of the safest. And I'm not Salvadoran, right? I'm not from the country of Salvador, but the reality is when you talk to people, you go places, you try to get the info as honest as possible, guys, as genuine as possible. This is not to trash one country or put one country against the other one. It's just the reality. And prices. We're talking about cost of living, safety, right? Cost of living. The price you can pay for an apartment, the same kind of community in San Salvador, with safety, with all the amenities, with a good elite high school for your kids, right? For private school, good bilingual private school for kids, for teenagers, for university. What you can find in San Jose, Costa Rica, you find in San Salvador too. Now, let me just be clear here. The Costa Rican now talk about education. Costa Rican education system has been on top of this continent, in the American continent, has been on top level education system, that in which kids from pre-K, they've been taught that about the culture, about education, about how valuable the tradition of how valuable is to get an education. And is a tradition goes to any Costa Rican household. I mean, that the Costa Rican couple would the child is going to be born. I mean, they're already making plans for what the child is going to go to school, what kind of school is, if it's going to be bilingual, if it's going to be private, public, even public. If you go public school, they are very well funded. The budget of the Costa Rican, government, I mean, the state of Costa Rica as a whole, right? Uh, of course, is one of the highest in education in all Latin America. So there's a big investment in education for the kids, for high school, for elementary, for middle school, for college in Costa Rica than any other in Latin America. But again, uh, that's one of their answers. I mean, think about all these companies, Google, I mean, Microsoft, all these Pepsi Cola, Coca Cola, artificial intelligence, all these Tesla. I mean, all big tech companies. They have offices in Costa Rica now, in El Salvador too. Since recently, I mean, just in the last 3 years, people have been coming. I mean, all kinds of big time investors. I mean, Tesla, Coca Cola, Walmart. I mean, uh, big time companies. They've been coming. Big tech companies coming to El Salvador too, which is the new princess. I would say the new princess of Latin America now, with all the things going on in El Salvador. It's amazing. I mean, of course, when you're there and see it for yourself, of course, things it's more clear for you to see, to have a better assessment. I'm talking about moving, of course, to Central America as an expert. You have to, you know, see the picture as a whole. Things are not the same that was 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 25 years ago in Costa Rica that is today. I mean, things are very expensive nowadays. I mean, a taxi ride will cost you $10 to go 3 4 miles sometimes. Eight, it depends on where you're going. 8 miles. I mean, I mean, 3 or 4 miles, things are more expensive. I mean, if you want to have a good dinner, it will cost you $12, $15, who knows, and more, of course, depending. In El Salvador, I had lunch for $1.50. Seriously, what is $1.50 lunch? It's two big nice pupusas, which I don't. When I eat those pupusas, I don't want nothing more. I don't want any more. That's a big lunch, guys. Dinner. If you have a dinner which is rice and beans, one of the popular dishes in Costa Rica is rice and beans, gallo pinto, they say, right? The same gallo pinto. I just had breakfast. I had breakfast. I had rice and beans. I had sour cream. I had bread. I have coffee with milk. Think about it. I mean, it's a good full breakfast. $2.65 in one of the provinces in Salvador. The province of San Miguel, I was just not recently I was there. The place called Santa Rosa de Lima, a city of like 30,000 people, beautiful city of 30,000 people in I'm sorry, in the province of San Miguel. The same breakfast, you go to anywhere in Costa Rica, it will cost you around $6, $7 for sure. That's a fact. It will cost you five, six. Let's say I don't want to make it big deal about it. Let's say it costs you $5, but still double, twice as much as you can pay that I paid. I mean, for breakfast, full breakfast in this place in the province of San Miguel, in Santa Rosa de Lima, and very much that city is 30,000 people. It's a small. It sounds like a small town, but there is everything there. I mean, if you live in a if you want to live in a province life, which I love provinces. I love different provinces. I mean, I've been to different provinces in Honduras too, different beautiful provinces. El Salvador, I've been La Union. I've been so many different provinces. Small town provinces because I like to have the vibe, the feel of living in provinces. Because people typically usually they report you from big cities, which if you're a big city guy, going to bars, going to nightlife, all nightlife. I mean, of course, you can find that's the big city life, definitely. I mean, you can find many cities. I mean, Tegucigalpa, Panama City, San Jose. I mean, Guatemala City, San Pedro Sula in Honduras. I mean, Ceiba. I mean, there are so many, at least 10, 12, or 15 big cities in Central America where you can have 24/7 nightlife if that's what you're looking for, of course. But people for looking like families, expat families coming with, with your family. I mean, with your teenage kids and on and on. And you're gonna have a nice, beautiful life with a good environment. One more thing I would say about Costa Rica is the environment. I mean, that I just mentioned briefly about how Costa Rican people are nature lovers, which is a plus. That's a big, huge plus. I mean, friendly to environment. I think that's the number. I think it's number one in Latin America. Costa Rica, it's been number one. Even Brazil, they're trying to. I don't want to talk about the Amazon, but they're destroying it. People are destroying the Amazon. Not just Brazilian, but other people too. But Costa Rica has been with national parks. There's so many amenities you can go through. To in Costa Rica, and if a few hours, couple hours, you're in a beautiful national park, looking at the monkeys, the parrots, and all kinds of nature and all kinds of biodiversity you can find in Costa Rica. But that's for nature lovers, and of course the surfing. People surfers from all over the planet come to Costa Rica, to Tamarindo, Playa Conchal area, all, and of course El Salvador has beautiful surfing area that I was not long. That was a few months ago, by one of my first trips. That was last year I was there. That they have so many surfing. The surfing community is so big in El Salvador too, with beautiful, nice beaches, resort area too. But so the idea of safety, cost of living, of course, and the myth has been created, uh, is still there. And I just want I love Costa Rica, but the reality we have to say the things the way they are. And the reality is that 20 years ago was, you know, uh, things has been evolving in a. There has been effort. I'm not saying here. I'm not criticizing the government. What I'm trying to say here that there is room for more to do more for safety and of course social issues. I mean, there's a big Costa Rican elite. I mean, the rich people. There's a big divide. There's lots of poor people too, just like in El Salvador, Honduras too. I mean, there's a big elite. Good, that I'm not, not blaming or anything to nobody, but there is a big divide, social issues going on. But things are improving in the rest of Central America too. Things are improving, and of course, Costa Rica is doing their part to do, but it's been overwhelming. I mean, there has been so much violence, in the rest of Central America for, like I said, that was 35 years ago. Though the inheritance of those kind of violence from those years, that the residue of those is still there. I mean, the inheritance of those. I mean, it is Costa Rica has six brothers and sisters, which is the other six Central American countries. And whatever happens in the rest of the countries, in some way affects the brother, which is Costa Rica, which has been an example of democracy, freedom in Costa Rica, which is very good. And of course, if we have a stronger Central, I think people have been talking about, but this is a different topic, right? The unity of Central America, making like a trying to create like the European Union, like the Central American Union. That's it's been talk on the street all the time about Central American Union to have a, you know, just like the European Union, right? The 30 or so countries in the European Union to make us Central America stronger, more beautiful, and more attractive for export. So, guys, with this, I'm just gonna leave with if you have any comments. I know some of this topic can be like I'm not trying to offend anyone anywhere. I'm just trying to tell with this video about the reality of our Central American countries, where we are brothers and sisters here in Central America. Where we always say país hermano, meaning es un país hermano, brother country, because we are really neighbor with Latin America too, with the United States also. We are the same continent. We're all human beings. We respect each other, and let's do the best we can to have a better society. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and see you in the next video. And if you haven't subscribed, if you like this comment, please hit, thumbs up, like this content, and see you in the next video. Take care, guys. God bless you all. Bye bye. Thanks.